Well, what more can I say that I haven't been saying all season? Once again, I'm not disappointed about this loss. Actually, I am disappointed. The word is I'm not mad. And that's going to be the pretty much message this whole season for the Giants every time they lose. Because if they lose a game that I expect them to lose, again, not going to be mad, just disappointed that we didn't do better. And that's exactly what happened in this game today. The Giants lost to the Eagles 28-3. And here's the thing with this game. I thought the defense was pretty good. They sacked Jalen Hurts, I think, was it 5, 6 times in this game. Dexter Lawrence did his job. Brian Burns did his job. But if I have to be honest, those are the only two bright spots on this team outside of Malik Neighbors, in my opinion. There's like nothing else to be excited about this team right now, honestly. I mean, you got Jermaine Illuminor, who's all right. I think Tyrone Tracy is still good. But outside of that, the guys I just mentioned, there's nothing to be excited about by this team. There's nothing to wake up to every Sunday and say, I'm ready to see this. No, nothing at all to be excited about, unfortunately. This game is just disappointing for all phases. And here's the thing, Daniel Jones, again, the narrative is not going to change about him that I've said all season. I thought, like I said before, it wasn't all his fault today. The offensive line was definitely terrible. It just goes so that Joe Shane has still not done a great job at building the offensive line. We have injuries like this, especially after what happened last season with Andrew Thomas when he got hurt, and I think he missed like 6 games. So, nothing's changed there. But yeah, that shows a lot about what this team has been doing this all season. But nothing changed about Daniel Jones. I've said what I said about him all year. He's inconsistent. He's not a franchise quarterback. And regardless of what happens this season, he is not going to be the starter next season, in my opinion. So my narrative is not going to change about him. And if I get on here every day and just make, videos of the Giants, it's going to be talking about him. So I'm not going to talk much about Daniel Jones. The narrative about him is pretty much set it there. And the fact that he got benched today pretty much shows how the Giants feel about him moving forward. So, like I said before, the narrative about Daniel Jones is there. I've said it all year, so I'm not going to go deep into it this game. Joshua Zudu, he doesn't work at left tackle. I think we all saw it last year how horrendous he was at left tackle, and it's not working again this season no matter what head coach he's under. So I have no idea why the Giants continue to do this when they've seen it all last offseason that it's just not going to work. Like, I would rather have Evan Neal, who has experience at left tackle, play left tackle in my opinion. I don't care how bad he was at right side. I'd rather see him there, but I don't want to see a guy consistently who we already seen fail in the NFL at left tackle, if that makes sense. At Evan Neal, we haven't seen him play left tackle in the NFL yet, so we don't know how he's going to play there. But we know how Joshua Zudu is going to play at left tackle at this point, if that makes sense. So if the Giants keep trying that, the same result is going to happen. This offensive line is going to struggle. JMS John Michael Smith also didn't play well in this game either, and I'm starting to be worried about him because, as I said before, this is not a guy we can wait to improve on. We need him to improve now because he's on the wrong side of 20, and that's not good for us. We need this guy to be ready, and we need him to be ready now. If he's not ready, we need to draft his replacement. Simple as that. And I saw a lot of people going wild because Drew Lock was in the game in the fourth quarter, by the way. Don't think things are going to change. If Drew Lock is a starter at any point, we're still going to lose. I mean, it might give Brian Dable a little bit more leadway in this offense, unlike with Daniel Jones, who has to limit his play calling around. But other than that, we're still going to lose. Drew Lock just has a way better arm, in my opinion, than Daniel Jones at this point. But outside of that, nothing's going to change for this offense. We're still going to be bad. Oh yeah, and I think I talked about this in my last video. The streak continues, by the way. To this day, the Giants have still not thrown a touchdown at MetLife Stadium in over 300 days. Yes, that is a real stat. That is not made up. That is indeed true. It's been over 300 days, maybe even more. I think 400 at most. This is the Giants' last threw a touchdown at MetLife Stadium. That is not a recipe for success. It's not even close. And by the way, I've seen a lot of people say Brian Dable should stay and pick his own quarterback. No, Brian Dable is definitely not safe at the end of the season. If Brian Dable needs to be fired in order for us to get better or move forward, I'm fine with that. I don't think anybody on this coaching staff is safe right now, in my opinion. I don't think Joe Shane is safe, definitely. I don't think Brian Dable is safe. Nobody on this coaching staff is safe near the end of the season. And here's the thing with Dable. I try to give him the benefit of the doubt sometimes, but he's just way too conservative by his own choice sometimes, not just because of Daniel Jones. So, like I said before, he needs more blame than anybody else sometimes, in my opinion. Again, like I said before, I'm not gonna sit here and rant about Daniel Jones. In my opinion on him has what it's been always is he's just not a good quarterback, and that's not gonna change here. But let's jump back further into this game. Saquon destroyed us. Simple as that. And I can't even be mad. We came into the game booing him as soon as he took the field. So he did what he had to do against us, and he shut us all up by the end of the fourth quarter. He had over 180 yards on the ground, and I think 2 touchdowns. So he did what he had to do. So not mad at it. He did what he had to do. He stood on business while we once again are looking stupid as a fan base. And this is what the Giants were afraid of, that Saquon Barkley comes through MetLife Stadium, absolute bulldozes them, and that's what he did. And by the way, Saquon Barkley has more touchdowns at MetLife Stadium than Daniel Jones has this season. That is indeed once again, true fact. The player who's not even on our team anymore has more touchdowns than our quarterback. Exactly. Matter of fact, I think he has more touchdowns in this game than he has in any Giants player, not just Daniel Jones, not to single him out, honestly. But now that I'm able to pull up the stats, this is what the Eagles did to the Giants today. 8 sacks, 2.2 yards allowed per play, 3 points allowed, and 3 for 14 on third downs. Absolutely brutal. Daniel Jones went 14 for 21 for 99 yards. No touchdowns, obviously. Tyrone Tracy had 6 carries for 23 yards, and Malik Nurkic had 4 catches for 41 yards. Like I said, not winning football, it's not even close. When I say this, it's not disrespect the Eagles. It's really not. So if any Eagles fans is watching this right now, I'm not disrespecting y'all when y'all are saying this. The Eagles were not playing exceptionally great offensively in this game. They weren't. The Giants offensively just didn't play great enough. So their offense was able to take advantage multiple times because of our offense not being able to take advantage sometimes, if that makes sense. And that is why they ended up winning this game. They didn't have the most complete offensive performance, but they did enough to win, and we didn't. That's why they're sitting here as the winners. Because the defense in this game was trying, they really were. The Eagles were 1 of 13 on third downs in this game. Like, we were legitimately trying, but again, we didn't do enough to win on offense. So once again, it leaves our defense in a position where they're on the field 24/7, getting slow, getting, banged up like Brian Burns did. And this is what happens. And the thing with Saquon Barkley, we're just gonna have to hear about this the next couple of days. Why did the Giants resign this dude, and why did they pick Daniel Jones over him? Even though we didn't pick Daniel Jones over him, the question of why we didn't resign him will still loom. There's really not much more I can say about this team that I haven't said all year. Honestly, I've said it multiple times, the same things I've said all year about this team. Inconsistent, just way too many holes in this team. So, yeah, I'm gonna write the video up here. If you haven't yet, make sure you like the video, subscribe to my channel, and set the bell icon for future football content. Follow me on social media down below in the description. See you guys in the next video.